welcome to Out of Britain with me, Radhika Iyer. Whether you know him as Gurudev, or you know him as Bishwakavi, or you know him as just a timeless storyteller, Rabindranath Tagore, born in 1861, has been India's finest mind ever. He, of course, has left behind a very relevant set of messages, ideas, which remain very, very relevant even to this day. From the lyrical beauty of Gitanjali to the stirring, soul-stirring, patriotic Jana Gana Mana. Rabindranath Tagore's work, body of work, his poetry, songs, ideas, philosophy, like I said, remains very relevant. On this special episode of Out of Britain, I share with you how London is reminiscing this genius whose ideas still thrive, remain relevant, and one which are particularly being loved by several Bengalis living in London City. Join me for this very interesting conversation. Man who was born in 1861. When you look at his portraits, the eyes still speak to you, at least to me. I don't know if you have that experience of Rabindranath Tagore. And with this very interesting bunch of people who are representatives of Bengal Heritage Foundation, with whom I'm going to chat about, try and touch the soul of Rabindranath Tagore, and also yours perhaps, to see how much he has touched all your souls. And one of them, in fact, Kaushik said to me that it was almost mandatory for every Bengali to have a portrait of Rabindranath Tagore in the house. Just one?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We were born and brought up with that. Probably each one of us in our childhood have a picture in front of that. And his eyes, the way he looked at, the aura itself was fabulous. But more importantly, his timeless poetries, his music, his learnings, they are also relevant today. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
It's after a generation.
Absolutely. Particularly today, I was thinking when I was watching the news and with all that's going on in the northern part of India, it's just been so disturbing. And I'm sure all of us are disturbed by what's been going on. But you asked me a question on what my connection and how early my connection was with Tagore. I remember at my convent school, within grade 3, every morning at assembly, we used to sing Where the Mind is Without Fear. It was our anthem. It was our prayer, in fact, which was such a great way to start the day, Where the Mind is Without Fear. Let me toss it to you guys now. I'm going to start with something tricky. I'm going to take you to a very vulnerable moment, perhaps, in your life. And feel free, whoever wants to share your experience, not all of you. A vulnerable moment in your childhood, in your teenage years, in your work life, as a mother, as a wife, in a relationship, while just migrating to London. It could be just any situation, any time of your life. How did you connect with Tagore's message, and share with me what type of work of his connected with you?
When I came to this country back in 2000, I had no one to help me. And when my firstborn here had no help at all. So I used to listen that song, Jodi Tor Dak Shune Keu Na Ashe, Tobe Ekla Cholo Re, recently sung by Mr. Amitabh Bachchan as well. So the lines, like I could tell you, that's like kind of a courage I can get, and kind of the thing is, you got the power from those lines that if you're calling someone for help and no one is there to help you, you just need to carry on whatever you have in your life. You just do your best. That's the courage, and I got the guts to. Like from day one to she's now 9 years old, no help, only me and my husband. That's the thing. I think I keep going with on those lines. Jodi tor dak shune keu na ashe re.
Sing it for us. What a song.
All right, so I can try. Jodi tor dak shune keu na ashe tobe ekla cholo re. Ekla cholo, ekla cholo, ekla cholo, ekla cholo re. Jodi tor dak shune keu na ashe tobe ekla cholo re.
Beautiful. It really moves something inside you, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So self-dependability. Okay. Anybody else wants to go?
share a story
Yes.
about vulnerability. So
But this is a group of Bengalis. Of course, the women are going to talk. Men, you can wait.
So I'm Shreyoshi, and I'm an Indian classical dancer as well as a Rabindranath Tagore's dancer. So goes back to 1 year back when I was hospitalized seriously, vital stats gone down, and I would have died. So that was the situation I came back from, and within a couple of weeks, I get a message from Shuranchanda asking me, "Are you okay to perform?" I said, "Where and what?" So he said, "West Bengal Formation Day and Bharata Bhagya Vidhata of Tagore." I said, "If it's Tagore, I'm not going to say."
Where was this?
It
In
was
London?
at the Indian High Commission that we performed, and we represented the West Bengal as VHF. And over there, so the entire song is almost 6 minutes long. And towards the end, I was literally feeling dizzy. So I had blood transfusion just 2 weeks back. So you can understand. I was feeling dizzy, and there was this last line, "Joy, joy, joy, hey." And when I was turning around, and towards the end, I was feeling very dizzy. It was, I think what happened was Tagore's lines and his creations, they gave me the strength to keep on performing as a performer. And I just ended it. And it just happened. I think that is the inspiration that Tagore gives me, that I never say no to Tagore.
Keep
He's
going.
a family member.
He's a
going,
family
yes.
member.
Yeah, he is a
Oh,
family
thank you.
member.
Thanks for sharing that. Kaushik.
Yeah, so a lot of people know Tagore with his poems and poetries and timeless pieces that he has. I will share something else, which is Shantiniketan, the university which he opened. He envisioned that as close to Mother Nature and openness. And it's still so relevant today. When you ask the question, does it personally connect to me? So whenever I go there, I'm stressed. That is my place to detox. I go there, I sit under the tree, close to nature. And you'll be surprised, over the last 3-4 years, I have found at least 10 more professionals like this who just go there to detox themselves. And they are from US, they are from Australia, they all come there to detox. The way he has created that whole university, it's unique. It's nowhere else you will get that in the world. I mean, in today's world, it's so relevant because we are so technically connected, Teams meetings, that opens you up, close to nature. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic
That's your
detox.
happy place. Tagore is your happy place. Okay, anybody else wants to? No, because you mentioned happy
I
place.
can give a perspective.
Go on.
So it's a little different. Tagore has a huge volume of work. We all know about that.
Yes.
But if you look at his life, it's less spoken about. He had a very lonely childhood, born in a very large family, looked after mostly by housemaids, nannies. He had a failed relationship early in his life. He had 5 children.
That's where the wisdom came from. The failed relationship.
And not one.
Most of his poetry as well.
So he had 5 children. 4 died before he passed away.
Yeah.
Only 1 was alive. But if you put all these things together and then imagine the kind of work that he has done,
And the quality of
one has to really think that what gave him that courage to write that, so do all that work.
Yeah.
So I'm a father of an autistic child. There have been times we as a family, we feel like giving up. It's sometimes it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Then when you think about it, that one man in just 80 years could do something that we probably in 160 years cannot just read. Yeah, I have not read everything about Tagore, and I don't think I'll ever be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that man just did that.
Yeah.
With all those things going on in his life. He had critics, he had struggle, he took on the government, he gave up his knighthood. Not easy
Not easy.
in that kind of a time. So that's what I would say is that motivates me. Yeah? I mean, in those difficult times, when I just think about it.
Well
gives me a lot
done.
of
Well
courage.
done, you. Proud of you.
Thank you.
It's what I'm getting largely is there's a lot of the emotion of being resilient and how you keep going and depend on yourself that Tagore has given to a lot of us. I'm going to play a quick round of wordplay here. I'll start with you, maybe Saurabh. It could be an emotion, a work of Rabindranath Tagore, a quality of his, a trait, or something that you received from him, or what you think of him. One word for Rabindranath Tagore. Only one word.
Internationalist.
Okay.
He in his life has visited 28 countries, and think about the times he lived in and things like that. And we're talking about his failed relationship. He was an amazingly charming man. Okay, and he was very popular.
Oh yes, and what a good-looking man.
Yeah, and what a good-looking man indeed. And he was not only popular with women in India. Okay, he was popular with women outside of India. Okay, and I travel a lot. Okay, because of work and leisure. Okay, and I've been referenced Tagore everywhere around the world. Okay, and everybody knows about Victoria Campo, his time in Buenos Aires. Okay, but that's the man. Means, and I sitting here in London, the most visited country in his lifetime was UK.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been here 8 times.
Yes.
Okay, so and one of the most interesting things we talked about in our program yesterday was that he's been hugely influenced, especially by Scottish music when he was here. And something as popular as Auld Lang Syne, okay, got replicated in Bengali, okay, into a very popular song. So, and that's just one example. There's so many of them, okay. And I think when we talk about means, it's a very interesting time because we're talking about the India-UK FTA at this point of time. Okay, some of these sort of relationships between UK and India are so deep. Okay, and they go back not only obviously because UK was a colonial power, but sort of
Way before that.
Way before that, the cultural relation. We talk about a living bridge.
Yes.
Okay, and that's a sort of living bridge that existed from times way before any of us were born.
Yeah.
So I love him for that.
Oh yes, we all do, and that also, you've nicely alluded to the beautiful relationship that Mahatma Gandhi had with Rabindranath Tagore. We'll play for you some images of performers of Bengal Heritage Foundation when at Nehru Center they paid a tribute to Rabindranath Tagore in this very special month of May, which is his birth centenary. But that hopefully gave you enough time to think of that one word you have. What about you?
The word I would say is polymath. So, when someone who doesn't know about Tagore, let's say someone in a distant country, first thing probably comes to the mind is great poetry.
Yes.
But he was way beyond great poetry.
Yes.
The amount of literature he has written, the amount of songs that we find from Tagore, the intricacies and the detail that he's put into all the songs, the music composition that he's come, his knowledge of Indian ragas. It's when you put all of those things together, and then at the same time also Kaushik mentioned building an institution such as Shanti Niketan, which today, I mean, it's a very interesting anecdote. I was visiting as part of my day job. So I work for Accenture, and I was visiting COP26 in Glasgow, and we were all talking about sustainability, nature, and so on. And I went there and I was amazed to see a topic which was Rabindranath Tagore and sustainability and how he built up the Shantiniketan ecosystem to be a sustainable ecosystem.
Wow.
So polymath, I think, would be a great way of describing him.
Yeah,
He
great.
was also a great artist, by the way.
Yes,
And an
He
artist,
did
and a philosopher, a storyteller.
He started painting when he was in his 70s.
Yeah.
And he painted some of the greatest modern
Does any
Indian
of you
art.
own any of his paintings?
He painted very few, and they are very highly prized in the art market.
Yeah, we haven't quite reached that. One day maybe we will.
We did a Bengal Heritage Foundation did something at SOAS in London, and it was about the 3 great modern painters from Bengal. It was Jamini Roy, Hemendra Nath Mojumdar, and Tagore. So we know him as a poet, as a musician, but he was also a painter.
referred to with his other qualities. Yes, Tanushree.
So I think for me, Tagore is timeless because just going back from what we did yesterday, so we started off from early 30s, 40s, and we came until 2024. His music has always been relevant, right? It's still relevant, whichever mood you take. As we grew up, like for me as a child, he was relevant because we used to learn songs like Tomar Shorar Horin and all that, just children's songs. And then you grow up as a teenager, as an adult, he's always relevant. it doesn't matter what stage of your life you are in, whether it's happiness, whether it's a festival, whether it's sadness, grief, stress, anything. Like you want
Loneliness, war.
Yeah. He's a friend, he's
Diplomacy.
a refuge, he's
Yes.
an answer to a question. He's your companion throughout, timeless. Like as long as I live, if I don't have dementia, even if dementia dies, I think I can sing.
I think you'll still remember.
Let's hope we remember Tagore.
People say there's a Shakespeare line for everything you can think of. Bengali say there's a Tagore song for every emotion. Every emotion.
Guys, you can't be owning Tagore all the time. Let's give him to India. Yeah, we Indians would say that.
When I wonder if we can sing.
Yeah, Nodi apun bege.
On you go.
ওগো নদী আপন বেগে পাগল তারা স্তব্ধ চাপার তরু গন্ধ ভরে তন্দ্রাহারা নদী আপন বেগে পাগল তারা আমি সদা অচল থাকি গভীর কথা গোপন রাখি আমি সদা অচল থাকি গভীর কথা গোপন রাখি আমার চলা নবীন পাতায় আমার চলা ফুলের ধারা নদী আপন বেগে অঙ্গল পারা শব্দ চাপার তরু বন্ধ ভরে তন্দ্রাহারা
Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Into that heaven of freedom, my father, left my country away.
What a beautiful, what a relevant message. And I feel like, I think all of you would agree, Rabindranath Tagore would be sad with some of the events that are happening in our world with the multiple wars, and he would be sad because he was one who said we're humans, there should be fewer boundaries, and
There's more in common.
and he was just so open, right? Is Rabindranath Tagore as good as God for many in Bengal?
So Rabindranath Tagore, of course, Rabindranath Tagore, which his original name was, and Thakur in Bengali means God. So there is a saying, "Je Bangalir ঘরে ঘরে একটাই ঠাকুর Rabindranath Tagore," which means the only God that exists in the house, in the home of every Bengali is Rabindranath Tagore. So we definitely treat Tagore as God. And with everything that's going around in the world today, we hope that he listens to our prayers and ensures that peace, prosperity, and sanity returns to this world.
Yes, indeed. And what a beautiful way to say it, because he is treated as God, but one without a religion. He was just so deeply spiritual, but he was not religious in that strong sense. He was a patriot, but he was not one who believed in strict boundaries. What a beautiful quality of mind.
Deeply spiritual, but not religious.
No.
Which is something to learn, to imbibe, and would have been so relevant if we could
For
have followed that.
today's times.
Talking about patriotism, when Bengal was divided by Curzon, 1905, that's when Tagore wrote a slew of some of his greatest work. And they're all patriotic songs. And when people protested against it, they would walk down the streets of Kolkata singing these songs. Akla Cholo Re is one such song. But his output in just that one year, 1905, 5, 6, 7 songs, all very popular and so patriotic.
Yeah. I'm going to touch upon a little bit about this genius of a mind that is, and alive and sharing messages with us. And we have this duty of not just preserving, but also promoting, sharing these messages with our families, with children, with the next generation. How do you think this can be done when, especially children in the UK of Indian origin, have access to philosophers from Europe, from the world? Who wants to go?
So when we started thinking about what do we think about the next generation, one of the first thoughts that always comes to mind is Tagore. Because even here, at our home, we wake up in the morning to songs of Tagore. Okay, that's so natural because that's almost turning on your radio, and that's the first that sort of music that you hear. And what we really wanted through Bengal Heritage Foundation is not only preserve and conserve the culture of Bengal, okay, here in the UK, but also pass it on to the next generation. And one of the most sort of delightful moments of your life is when you see these young people go up and sing Tagore or recite from Tagore, okay? Probably not in as fluent Bengali, but putting in their best efforts, okay? Which is a sort of an Anglo-Bengali accent, okay? And it's often so beautiful to hear that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
It is so sweet. So we just love that, and we hope that this carries on for generations and generations. And I'll just say, when I saw 2 Instagram reels yesterday, capturing a program, okay, and Instagram is something which is more for the younger generation, okay. We felt very inspired. Probably I'm getting too old.
Young at heart.
But that was so inspiring that they're putting up after seeing what they saw and that they learned a lot and reflecting that back.
Excellent.
one
So
thing
you are
I'll-
inspiring people.
I'll quickly add one thing to that, which is in order to do that, I think one of the things that we do quite consciously is keep our culture relevant for the next generation. Because what we have seen in other communities, and especially even people within our communities, that generations keep losing their culture, they keep losing their connection to the roots. So we need to keep it relevant, we need to keep it, we need to maybe curate it in a way that they can connect to, they can relate with. And that's hopefully something that will make it
You can
successful for
achieve
us.
as all of you
One
together.
last one, because we do a puja function all the time, right? And for me, the moment in my organization was we were doing anybody can sing any song, and Suranjan's daughter, she came up to me and she said she wanted to sing a Tagore song, and that really touched me because for them to choose something on her, I didn't say anything to her. She came on her own and she learned it. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, that's a good job done. And keep doing this good work. Thank you so much for what you're doing. You said timeless.
Yeah.
You said nature. You said polymath, internationalist. Strictly one word.
One word, visionary.
Visionary. Beautiful.
Pathos.
You want to? I'll give you 2 lines. Why?
See,
Why?
I knew you couldn't stop at that.
Why?
Why? Because all the kind of emotions I have always related to Tagore. Always.
Yeah. Someone who stirs your soul.
I would say love and emotion. That's why he is to me.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that.
Healer.
Healer. Oh. How beautiful is that? Beautiful. Thank you. I think I'll take a word as well. Please. Resilience, I think. I think that's something that he has taught his life, in his way of life, with the grace he carried himself, with the decisions he took, with the bold decisions he took, and with what he's taught all of us, I think, broadly, to just keep going with a mind that's open and
He used to say,
showcase that quality.
2 lines that I always tell myself in Bengali. It means
on you go.
"Bhalo mondo jahai ashuk lo shohoje," something like that. The poem says, which basically means whatever comes, good or bad, accept it. And it's so relevant because, like you were saying, European poets, Rumi was such a famous poet. It's all the same everywhere, the philosophy. Accept the truth. It doesn't matter what is coming.
Yeah, accept it. And in fact, there's this very famous quote. I'm sure all of you know this. He said, "Whatever you deserve shall come to you if you have the capability to receive it." I mean, what a mind that is. But thank you so much. I just can't stop this conversation, and we won't. But we have a program where we have to end, so we will keep this conversation going. We will keep. Yes, we will keep Tagore. Indeed, especially if it is about Tagore, and Tagore is timeless, as Tanushree said. So we're playing a very small part, and you certainly are playing a very big part in keeping him alive and keeping his messages so relevant and alive. So thank you very much. And if you have moments which you'd like to share about how Tagore touched your life, or if you have that one word which you have to share for us. And thank you so much for that word, healer. Man, that was amazing. That was.
And we would like to thank you because
Oh, thank
this
you.
is you are doing a great job
Thanks.
in taking this message out.
Thank you. I paid him. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Could we say something to the viewers?
Yes, on you go.
So if you're in the UK, if you're anywhere around London and would like to connect to the Bengali community, Bengal Heritage Foundation is here for you. So please do reach out to us.
Thank you. Excellent. We'll pop the details in the chats and the comments below if you'd like to reach out to them. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.